All right, everybody. So we have all heard of the Pixlr editor or Pixlr editor, whatever you want to call it. We've all heard of the Pixlr editor online, and this video has actually came to me because somebody was just talking about Pixlr and stuff like that and saying, okay, I did this with this and I did this with that, saying that Pixlr, you can make stuff with Pixlr. It has about the same tools as Photoshop. So today's video is I want to actually post and say versus Pixlr versus Photoshop to see which one is obviously going to be better. I believe Photoshop is obviously going to be better. We're going to be making the YouTube thumbnail I have in this video. Last video thumbnail is also going to be part of this video's thumbnail too, because I had this idea for a long time, wondering if it was going to be a good idea to have make a video like this. And I also wanted to try to make an actual thumbnail with Pixlr. Gonna try in this video today. I sure am. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and create the base image. And the base image is obviously, I see it freezes a little bit. Like, it's like not very good. We don't want 2560 by 1920. We want 1920 by 1080. I don't know where that came from, obviously. So I'm not gonna make it transparent. And we'll name this video thumbnail. It doesn't really matter what we honestly really name the video or the picture. I always go with untitled and name it later. We're gonna go ahead and go okay. Now, as I can see, it kind of reminds me of Photoshop a little bit, but Pixlr actually does lack a lot of things that Photoshop has. So yeah, so Pixlr does lack a lot of the tools that Photoshop has. So we want to actually go ahead and maybe zoom out a little bit. I always like, if Photoshop is like so much more cleaner with their stuff too, and also this one freezes, this one lags. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be making the the thumbnail for the video. There's gonna be a lot of all that fading times. As you guys can see, my colors are also little bit edited over here because I already tried doing this before I made the video, and I just decided let's versus Photoshop versus Pixlr. So let's get into the video. So I'm gonna go ahead, and as I can see, you can't place images. You have to open images. You can't place them, which is kind of trash because I didn't want to ever place images. But I have posing right here, and I have whatever you want to call it, the capture right here, what we're going to be using for our thumbnail. So what you have to do for Pixlr, you have to Control A and then I have to Control C. I can't just place the image on. It's crazy. So I will be making the thumbnail with Photoshop. I'm not going to add, this is not going to be the thumbnail. I just want to see what I can do with Pixlr versus Photoshop. So if I Control V, it's already here, but it's obviously not what it's the aspect ratio. Now, everybody knows that Photoshop kind of does try to make the picture more, but this one, it's a little bit different. So as you Shift T, it's like, it does it. So I do want to hold Shift when I do this, because if I don't, it's going to like not be very picture worthy. How would I do that? Like I'm like having a stroke here, and I kind of want to try to get the thumbnail that I made for my last video in here, because I'm going to be posing on the side right here. So my pose is going to go on this side. I always pose for my thumbnails because I feel like it makes it better. I don't know. Dude, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the color of this part right here. I'm pointing at my screen, which you guys can't even see me because I don't have my face cam, but you guys are gonna see me. I point right here, right? As you guys can see, I made this one is with Pixlr. It's a little bit blurry, and as you guys can see, yeah, no pen tool. That's one of the tools that Pixlr lacks, is the pen tool. I can do better than that in this video today, so that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna go ahead and click yes. All right, so what I need to do, as you guys can see, it's already bad quality a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is this color right here kind of matches up, but just to make sure, I'm gonna go to the color scheme right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of click that just to make sure it's right, and I'm gonna grab the tool brush. Now, Pixlr doesn't allow you to hit the bracket keys either like Photoshop does, and it doesn't keep the color. On Photoshop, when you paint the same color, you won't see it do this. So it's gonna be a little bit wonky. So I'm gonna just go ahead and paint. I can keep painting over the same thing, so there's like streaks. That's why I'm not using this one for the thumbnail. pretty much I want to go ahead and add some stuff. So again, they don't have place, so I always have to open an image, and then we have my white arrow that I usually use. Again, I have to Control A and then Control C it so it copies it. Then I gotta go here. We don't need that no more, so we can go here. It's not Control T with this one, because Control T will open up another tab. It's Shift T for this one, and then I can go ahead and edit everything that needs to be edited. Just kind of bring that back a bit. It is a little bit, I don't know, it's not bad. I like for free, it's like for free just to do it with a whole bunch of ads on the side. And it even gives you a warning, like, do you want to do that? It's not bad. So we want to also add my pose that I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up another image again. And if you guys can actually learn some stuff here. So we're gonna add my pose. Here it is. It is a weird pose, I know. I'm wearing a Slipknot shirt. What is happening? So we're gonna go ahead and just take the pose. My camera does. What's the resolution? So it's 2560 by 1920. That's my camera size. That's kind of crazy. We're gonna go ahead and Control A on this one and Control C it again, and we're gonna Control V right here, and then we're just gonna kind of just keep my face in a little bit, but we gotta also get rid of the background. So we gotta go and grab the eraser tool. As you guys can see, I actually erased the background from this picture. It was a white background, and then I kind of painted myself white, so I kind of erased myself a little bit. So the hardness is going to be a little bit up. So the spacing, the diameter is also going to be a little bit smaller than that. And also we're going to go ahead and Control. We get everything we need to get done, but we can also get everything that I need. As I'm looking at that, we can actually exit out the pose here. And as I'm looking at it right now, it's not half bad. And we do want to Shift T that, and we do want to keep maybe I don't know, maybe you want to kind of do that and keep the aspect ratio. So I'm going to hold Shift, maybe dial that down a bit, bring it back up a little bit, and just keep it like that. This is okay. Yes, we'll keep that. That's what we're going to work with. And to keep everything in the look, we can use an outer glow. We'll use that. We'll do the hardness 100%. We'll do the size, and what I usually do on Photoshop, depending on the color of the thumbnail. If the background is black, I'll use white. If the background is a light color, I use black. The blending is completely different on this one. Little bit, not even a little bit, I'd say a lot. But the way this looks right now, I would say is not half bad. It's not the best. It's a little bit better than what I did here, but I will give it that. So this thumbnail is 100% done. I'm going to leave a full picture of it on the screen, and we're gonna make this one in Photoshop. This is pretty much what I use, but we did forget something. We're gonna go ahead and open the image, and then I usually added a logo. I usually add a logo here, which is pretty much the same color, a little bit different. Usually I would add a stroke, but they call this one an outer glow. The outer glow is going to be black, usually with the logos I make. And then the hardness, we'll just do that. Pretty much it's a stroke, almost like what Photoshop is, but a little bit different. It's a glow. It's going to be a little bit fuzzy. I would say this is okay. Autodesk Pixlr, I guess. I don't know. I got this one from Google. Pixlr. This is going to be the thumbnail. I don't have to put versus Photoshop. I want my thumbnails to be different from the title, because no, not clickbait, but the same concept. The text, I would be like, okay, I don't want to put the title inside the thumbnail, but I want the same concept. and then the title to be something completely, like the title to match the concept of the video. So Pixlr versus Photoshop, and we're doing Pixlr, and then Pixlr is going to be the thumbnail, and obviously you guys know later on Photoshop's going to come next. This is pretty much this video, this thumbnail done. You'll guys see a before and after at the end of the video if you guys want to stick around. And yeah, so let's go to Photoshop now. All right, everybody, so here we are in Photoshop. As you guys can tell, I have everything all set up. I have my thumbnail 1920 by 1080 right here. I usually do resolution 300, RGB, everything, and I still do the white picture. But as you guys can see, it's a lot better. I can't just drag everything and it'll tell me to convert to normal, and I'll go ahead and cancel that. So we're already seeing some good stuff here, and this boy right here, the pen tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place embedded, because that's the best part of Photoshop is you can place, and it'll go ahead and try to do like it's easier to use. And usually when you scale up, it gets blurry, like it gets pixelated. But when you go here, like when you go ahead and put, like you do that and the hitbox goes away, it usually tries to make it a lot better quality than what Pixlr does. When you're stretching it, it's good quality still, and when the good quality, it's just gonna go, and it doesn't have the power to keep the detail of the thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger. Go ahead and get rid of my taskbar here. We're gonna keep this, but I want to make it just like kind of like I did with that. So that's probably going to be good around in this area right here. So as you guys can see, you already can see it's not looking bad. All right. And I do see the light blue, as I was talking about in this video right here. That's how I completely did. I got a small picture and did that, but it wasn't that blurry. And when we grab this, so if I grab the paintbrush tool here, and it's okay, so it says that if you guys actually want to learn how to get over this, like, because it's not, just go here and just put resize the image and it'll work. If I go here, we want to go ahead and do that. It is normal. It better be normal, and the flow is about 10%. I want to go ahead and put that on 100. So as you guys can see, I'm painting over it, and it's not creating extra like darkness. It's just going over the color of everything, and it's not making it look like I just painted over it. So it's blending in with the color of this background pretty well. Actually, I used to make my thumbnails with Pixlr. I'll throw up a few thumbnails, old thumbnails I made with Pixlr back in the time of my channel being, older. It looks good. And from far away, it doesn't look bad. As you guys can tell, I did paint over this like bar a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not too much of a perfectionist. Now that like I look at it, it's like you look at it and you can see I did paint over it a little bit. And it makes me want to like kind of fix it sometimes. So I can go to the white and, kind of like, paint over this. But then again, you can kind of see that I painted over it. But other than that, it's kind of the same color. It's not going to be too big of a deal. I also usually go here and kind of get rid of like maybe a little bit of that saturation, and then I'll bring it up. So like the subject, which is me, will pop out. So if I go ahead and place another, actually I don't want to place this one this time. I actually want to open this one. I usually open this one, and it will make another one. There we go. And then I can just edit this right here using the pen tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out. that's pretty much done. The pen tool does not take that too long, which is the reason why I like the pen tool, because I'm basically masking myself, and I just left click or right click, make selection, no feathering, and it's just gonna mark everything I did, everything I cut off right here. I just do that, add everything. Pretty much, it's pretty much done. Like the way it is not bad. All right, I'm not gonna lie. And I just like do that, maybe make it a little bit smaller, actually a little bit bigger, so it's like not, well, taking up, like my poses are weird, but I don't know, kind of the same pose. But look, as you guys can tell, it's a little bit of a cleaner. I should have cut my hair out. I usually do cut my hair out because it's growing really honestly long. And yeah, actually my lighting got better too. I would usually do some curves, exposure level, and kind of lighten my face up a little bit so it looks like I have more lighting. But now that I have more lighting on my videos, I am okay with that. So pretty much I can go ahead and just maybe add a little bit of saturation to me, a little bit of saturation. Not too much to make myself look red, but I do have more light, so it's a little bit better. And I go ahead and go to blending options. Now there is a load of settings for me to even do that Pixlr actually didn't even have. Stroke, which is what they call it, and as you guys can tell, it's a little bit cleaner. But we're gonna make this one, we're gonna make the stroke white like I did in the last. Tone it down a little bit, and then we're gonna actually add an outer glow. It's called glow too, but we can also make this one a little bit smaller too, just like I do. And then I usually do a drop shadow, just like that, to add a little bit of depth to me. And we're gonna actually place the same things. We're gonna place the same things, such as the arrow, same arrow, by the way. Just, you know, the same arrow. As you guys can see, you can see my struggle every day. And the thing about it is Photoshop keeps it the same aspect ratio. You would have to put shift to change the way it is, such as like this. If I wanted to do that, you'd have to push shift. That's the reason why I like Photoshop when it does that, because Photoshop doesn't change the aspect ratio and it keeps it the way you want it, and it knows, hey, we know we don't want you to mess up and make everything look distorted and weird. So we'll go ahead and push that just like that, and we'll go ahead and put everything I have placed embedded. Go to downloads, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the good old-fashioned thing right here. Put this right in the same corner I did with the other one, but we're not done with it. I moved the background. I usually always do that. And we can go ahead and add some blending options to this one. Outer glow, I should have added some kind of like thing, but again, I don't like adding the title in the thumbnail, because why do that when the title is the title in the thumbnail? So we would want this one to be a different color. As you guys can see, a little bit more cleaner of a stroke. We can actually dial it down a bit, and there is the same thumbnail, but not done. I usually Control Shift E, and then I Control U, add up the saturation just a little bit, not too much. I don't know if that's too much for you guys, but to me, that looks good. And that's the thumbnail. Here is a side-by-side one, the first one being Pixlr and the second one being Photoshop. You guys be the judge. What would you guys want to use? Now, I will give Pixlr the benefit of the doubt. Being able to do something like that for free is not a bad thing. Just do a little bit of extra work is not a bad thing to do, or it's not actually a bad thing to have at your fingertips. So pretty much my conclusion of this video today is that you do not need Photoshop to start working on a channel or anything, because I didn't know how to do anything. Like, I didn't know how to do anything when I've started my channel. I didn't know how to make thumbnails, so that's why they look like that. But now that I know how to make thumbnails and know how to erase backgrounds and kind of give it curves and the softness of the brush or the hardness of the brush, either way, I've learned so much from Photoshop. And Photoshop is obviously going to be better because yes, it is a paid it's a paid thing. Knowing that, I would give Photoshop obviously the win, but Pixlr is a pretty good budget, a pretty good free online editing thing for anybody that can't afford Photoshop. I'm not going to give like every kind of curve, because there is CS6, and you can get CS6 like online pretty much for free, and CS6 does the same thing as CC 2020 or something. Pixlr it's okay, and right there for free online. Do whatever you need to do. It's not bad. It's not bad. I will give that. So if you guys are starting a channel and you guys have nothing, I recommend Pixlr. and give Pixlr a try. And if you want to do some stuff on your channel, make sure to take your time on your thumbnails, because when I started, I didn't make thumbnails every day. And then when I started making thumbnails, I was always thinking to myself, how am I going to make a thumbnail for every video? That's just time consuming. And I do it every day, and I actually kind of like it. It's really fun. So that is that, everybody. I give Photoshop a win. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something from this, and I also hope you guys learned how to use some editing things. And yeah, so thank you everybody so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.